Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of the Patreon. Log on to LarryReidLive.com, click Patreon, sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
This platform discusses any and all information that has been made known to the public in any way. Now, if the information creates convo that needs to be had, then it could become a feature story on the LRL platform. Now, remember, I am not a journalist. I am a commentator. And anything you see posted, any show, live broadcast, I want you to assume that the information is alleged, but the commentary is always real. Tell Naughty Dotty every darn body that Larry Live is on a Sunday night. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow too, but tonight we got to have a conversation. So darn little. Hit like and go ahead and share right now. Play the intro. Hurry up, let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you may be looking and saying, where you at, Larry? Where you at? Well, I am in our new studio that I told you guys about, but everything is not done, so it's going to be like this for a little while. That's why you need to take a moment right now to hit our Cash App and our Venmo. That's right, already at the top of the show, I'm already talking about the worship. It's time to give. Get in line. If you're giving 1,000, get over there. If you're giving 500, get over there. Give it over there right now. We're going to give you 100. That's why we're doing North Carolina tobacco thing. I used to know how to do it. Tonight, we have an exclusive interview with this pretty boy, Pastor.
Wow. Wow.
It can't be how I said you a pastor or model.
Huh?
I said you a pastor or model.
I'm a child of God.
Okay, look, I wanted to have this conversation. Let me tell you guys how it happened. But before I do that, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that always watch this show and share with everybody to let them know that we are on. I want to thank every donor that helped us get to this place that we are now in the studio. We have this studio and another studio around the corner for our live audience, and we're building it up. You guys are getting your name on the wall of fame. I want to say thank you to the patrons, also the members of the My Breakthrough Now network. Every like, every share, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and have the conversation. Tell everybody that we are on. Now, if you want to become a patron, go to LarryLive.com, click Patreon, and join up. You go over there, you see everything that's going on. One of the great things we have over there right now, we're doing like a reality show, so the cameras are following us because me and my former wife, we were married for 18 years, and we separated. But then you just met her, you talked to her.
Yeah.
That's the mother of my children.
Yeah.
So we moved. She moved in to because what happened? Well, I don't hate. Well, you got to go and sign up Patreon because we already started the show, so you'll find out. But long story short, you said what?
I want to hear the rest.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So. Long story short, she's here so that we can raise the kids together. Although we're not married anymore, but we are great friends. A lot of people still think we married, but we not. We're really not married. We're just great friends. But anyway, if you go over there and become a patron, the first episode have already dropped. 2 behind the scenes have already dropped. It's just wonderful. The next episode drops this Thursday night at 9 p.m. So go ahead and sign up now. Let's go ahead and get into the conversation. Let me tell you then, when I saw the clip, it was sent to me. And they say, you remember the Cornelius and Heather? I said, yeah, I remember the conversation. So you posted that. I don't know if I did that story on the show. Oh, yes, I did. Because I fussed about it. Because I did not, and no, I'm not saying whatever y'all said, y'all, whatever. I just did not agree with what I saw was being said about you and about Heather. I didn't agree with it. And there was no evidence that I found. So a lot of people killed me because I spoke up. And I didn't even know you guys. Right. And they thought I'd done it because your wife is fine. But they thought I'd done it because of that. But no, I mean, my former wife fine, and you know, and I got bras in Atlanta. You know, so, but that wasn't the case.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this, I didn't share this. Then again, I maybe did because I share everything. When I saw that story and I watched, you were talking on something, and one of your former spiritual sons was talking about you, which made me research you. And I said, there's something about this dude that's different, that is likable. This is not I'm not gonna. I love people, but I don't like everybody. I don't like everybody. I love everybody, but I don't like people, and not easy. And there was just something that was, to me, authentic, something that was real, and I was interested. But I just let it go. You know, I don't be asking about for no during interview. But then when I seen this, this clip, and you said I'm resigning from pastor, I said, now wait. What is going on? I want to know. I got in contact with Cornelius. You're okay with me calling you Cornelius, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And when we got on the phone, there was like in the first, I only know it was 60 seconds. I said, man, what you're talking needs to be a conversation that we have in front of everybody. Right. So it says interview, but really you're just going to get the conversation, our first time having the conversation that we started on the phone, and we're just going to have it right here in front of you guys, because I feel like the things he was saying and the exchange that were asking me questions, I said, you know what, let's just do this in front of everybody. And you're probably going to learn not only Cornelius better tonight, but probably even me, because you're just going to eavesdrop on the conversation. So you're resigning. Why are you resigning, and what does that mean?
Yeah, so I guess giving backdrop, my wife and I, we started the Gathering Races Church. First, we started in Mississippi. And then we started 2011, Easter 2011 in Mississippi. We ended up coming here to Atlanta. We started the church January 2013. And, you know, I don't know if it was youthful ignorance, but we kind of had this idea that we wanted to be different than what we kind of grew up in, or not even grew up in, but like, you know, the church that we had been around, the pastor was untouchable, and, you know, you never knew where they lived, and you never knew, you know, it's like it was always these things about, you know, I just don't know. So we wanted to have something that was communal. And although we were warned many times, I'll say that, we were warned many times, we just wanted something different. We wanted to create a community. We wanted to create family. And then we just got into the habit of like inviting people over to our house. Like to this day, my oldest son is 7, and we have not lived without somebody living in our house with us as a family since my son was born, even before he was born. You know, people who we met who was living in a car, and it's like, well, let's, you know, my thing was to them, as long as I had a roof over my head, you'll always have one over yours. And come, you know, you can come stay at my house, get yourself together. My basement has always been full. It's always been packed with people who needed it, whether it's my couch, wherever it may be. There were times after church, I'd get up and I would go preach. I would go to Kroger's or go to Publix and buy a bunch of food, and I like to cook. That's how I like, you know, I de-stress. Wow. So I get home and I make chicken dressing and chicken and baked, all this kind of food, and people just kind of come over and they would eat. And, you know, like it started to bring commotion in the house, because, you know, you got people all over. They wouldn't clean up. They leave bottles all over the house. My wife is like, babe, we got to deal with this. So we wanted to have something that was communal. We wanted to have something that was real, authentic, and let's share our life and be around us. And we didn't want to have the reins. You know what I mean? It was like I went to other places, and this is not to dog anybody else. I would go to other places, and it just seemed like the pastor had to have all authority. It was like he told you what to do and where to go. And my biggest thing, I always told people when they came in, they said, "Well, this is what God's telling me to do." And I say, "Well, go do it." Like they would say, God gave me a gift of laying on of hands. And I'm like, well, you passed by like 4 hospitals before you came to me. Go practice there. And then come to me. Like, what you want me to do? Tell everybody who's sick at church, just stand like you practice it out there. And so we wanted to create that.
That's a totally different concept that we don't really hear coming from pastor. And this was the, you guys, this is the kind of conversation that he was having with me. That was like, okay, your whole lens is totally different when it comes to pastoring. Yeah. And it reminds me a lot. You met the mother of my children. That's how we did. Yeah. We had ex-cons, murderers, rapists in our home. Right. That's how we done church. So those of you that are watching, many times you watch Larry live, we're telling the story of somebody who went to a church and something wrong happened. And some pastors jet-lagged crazy. But tonight's conversation, you're going to hear from a pastor's point of view, which may make the 1.4 thousand you on Facebook and the 1,000 of you over there on YouTube to make a decision to tune off. But you need to stay around because a lot of pastors don't trust me, or former pastors, how you want to look at yourself. They don't trust me enough to sit across from me and know I'm going to handle them right. This is so interesting. Your whole concept and passion is totally different. Do you regret pastoring that way, letting people that close?
I don't.
Okay.
If I went back, I wouldn't change anything because I believe that every experience, whether good or bad, it has shaped me to be a better man. Okay. Even in the times, when you have people who they want to make you out to be a monster, but you know how much you help them. It's like, even in those moments where I say, okay, I got to swallow this one. Okay. And I've learned a great deal about leadership that I didn't know before. You know how when you're a teenager and you think, I can take over daddy's business. I can do it. I can do it. And when we got started, we were just like, we can do it. Because you kind of saw what somebody else was doing, like, you can do it. And that wasn't the case. And I've learned as the leader, I'm going to be the fall guy. I'm going to be the guy, because when you think about it, when you have 1,000 people coming to the church, you have the one person on the stage. When it all comes crashing down, they're not gonna blame people in the church. Nobody talks about toxic members, but we talk about, well, how was the pastor? How was he so bad? And how is this? And they try to make the person behind the pulpit and the monster. We try to make the musician the monster. We try to make the singer the monster. And we take away their humanity. And it was a lot of not only just my perspective, but it was also a lot of the church culture, Larry, to be honest with you.
So what would you say to those that say, okay, he's resigning because he's burned out? What would you say?
I was burned out.
Oh, wow.
I was burned out a long time ago. This decision is almost 3 years coming.
Okay, I got a minute. Wait a minute. There's something on the show called The Dante. I don't know if you know Donnie McClurkin. Do you know him?
I've never met him.
Well, he was riding down the road one day in a car, and I guess the sugar got too high or something, but he just fell out. And he ran into everything. Thank God he walked away from it. So sometimes when people be talking or information come that make me overwhelmed, I have to take a break before I Dante. You almost made me Dante because I expected you to I really expected you to lie. I mean, can I say that? when I asked you, were you burnt out? I expect you to lie. I mean, what most preachers do.
Yeah.
No, I'm not burnt out. God is calling me to something else. You said, no, I was.
Yeah. I mean, this decision has been 3 years in the making. You know, I thank God for some of my friends out there, like Pastor Carl Day and some other guys who, like, you know, 2-3 years ago, you know, I had an opportunity to sit down with these guys or talk to these guys on the phone and be like, man, you got to keep me in this thing. You got to keep me fighting with this thing. And I mean, it's no secret. I wrote a book called Suffering in Silence where I talked about my battle with depression, suicidal thoughts. Last December was like one of my latest episodes where I just, you know, I sat on the side of my bed with my Glock.
Whoa.
You know, with my wife and my newly born son, and you're right next to me. And it was my daughter who came from the room right across from me, who came up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, wherever it was. And she came, I was sleepwalking or wherever it was. She came up to me and I'm crying, and she looks at me and she says, "Daddy, I love you."
Whoa.
You know, and then like that broke me, and it reminded me. But I mean, people know, it's no secret. I talk about like my battle with depression and stuff like that. You didn't know that.
I know any of that. I wrote an article that went viral. It was posted everywhere years ago called 6 Reasons Pastors Struggle with Depression or something like that. But it went everywhere. And at the end, I had all these postings of pastors that had committed suicide. Cause we had like a influx of pastors who just kept killing themselves over and over and over for like 2 years. And so to hear you say that, man, that is I'm glad we're on this side of the story.
Absolutely.
And not doing the story, which we have on so many pastors who have committed suicide, and we're on this side. So man. And
it is the church, the culture, it is the image that is made
what you mean by that?
Of the pastor.
Okay.
Like the pastor has to be perfect. He always has to get it right. He always has to do the right thing. And it's like we are called to forgive the people whenever they mess up.
Okay.
But if it's the other way around, the pastor is vilified, and we get it. You know, well, he's held at a higher standard, or he has to do this, and But at some point, I feel like the church we've stripped away the cause of humanity. We don't even see people as human anymore. We vilify them to the point where we wish death upon them. Like, Larry, I wish I could tell you the number of messages that my wife and I get from people who say, "I hope you die. I'm waiting for you to die. I got popcorn waiting for you to fall." And then they insert our children into the mix. Like, you know, you would think your kids are off limits.
No, they're not. No.
And then they'll put your kids into it. And so it's like, when you go through that, and then like you're constantly told by the elders or by the higher ups or the gangster leader pastors, whatever you want to call them,
mafia.
Yeah, when you're constantly told you need to just be quiet, just swallow it, just eat it, don't say anything, don't do that, don't say it, don't respond. And I get that. I get that whole part about not responding, and you don't want, the whole Michelle Obama thing. When they go low, you go high. And I get that. At some point, I'm like, well, at what point will the pastor be able to have something that's authentic for himself? Because if not, like I'm like, my friends are pastors.
Wait, hold on. I got to sit with that one. At what point would the pastor have something that's authentic
because he's always
to himself and for himself? Why do you say that?
Well, I don't know, whichever way I say it. But I mean, I'm saying he's always having to swallow. Okay. He's always just take it. Because the pastor could never be abused. He's just abusing other people.
Oh, now that's a whole lie.
But that's what I'm saying. He could, like, in my opinion, I feel like the pastor is the most abused profession.
Agreed.
Ever, because you expect for the pastor, you don't want him to have money, but he can't be broke because he can't take anything from the church. You want the church to be able to do everything for the community, but you don't want to give anything to the church to do anything for the community. You want the church to serve, but you don't want to serve it. And then the pastor has to put out this fire over here. He has marriages over here going through this. I can't tell you the number of times I've sat outside jail cells bailing people out with my own money.
Yeah.
I can tell you a number of people that we bought cars for, paid off student loans for. We just, me and my wife's money. But we just told, just swallow it. Just take it. You're doing it for the Lord. God's going to repay you. Your mansion is big in heaven. This and this. But all the time, I'm dying here on earth. And my mental health is just degraded to the point where I'm like, who am I anymore? And I got to the point where I was like, I've lost myself. This is not who I am. Like I'm trying to get into a culture. And then, you know, as a pastor, you got to go to the conferences, and then they get on the stage and they're telling you the top 10 ways of being a leader. Then the next guy gets up and he got another 10 ways. And the next guy, you got another. By the time you lead a conference, you're just as tired as you was when you got there. I'm just as frustrated as I was. 12 ways to grow your church. How many people you're running? What's your revenue like? What's your tithing like? So it's just, I had to come to the conclusion of finally saying, maybe I'm not the guy to do it. And then I think another big piece very quickly was that whenever I was telling my wife, and I knew God was in on this thing, when I knew that I no longer had vision for the Gathering Nations Church, then it was time. And that light had gone out where I had no more vision. And finally, you know, I've met a new potential pastor, and you know, as we work through that transition, he has a vision for Atlanta.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm happy about that. And that lets me know the vision can still run, but with that vision running, that means that I need to back because two visions can't live.
So do you feel like that? You called it resigning from pastoring, or the heading, or something I saw said resigning from pastoring. Is it resigning from pastoring, or are you going through a transitional phase to where now pastoring going to look different for you later on?
It could. You know, I want to do more advocacy work. Like I want to, like my wife and I, every year she does a statewide baby shower where she, you know, we give away strollers and car seats.
Never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we give away strollers, car seats. We feed the moms. We give them diapers and free clothing and all this kind of stuff. I mean, Pinky Promise has done some amazing work. And crazy thing is, she's been able to do it with limited to no donors. Because we don't go out there just asking people like to give and all that kind of mess. Even our church, it was like for years, we just passed around. We didn't even have a bucket. People get upset because they know where to put the offering, but nonetheless.
You know, one of the things that I pride myself on this platform, but a lot of people do not know, is that I like for the platform to give voice to both sides of the story. And I like that you're sort of talking about that, because when I heard all this information about different stuff they were saying concerning Pinky Promise, that's what it sounded like to me was about, Pinky Promise. Yeah. And what that mean? Am I in Pinky Promise? Because I got a ring on a pinky.
Well, it's an honor. It's a promise to honor God with your body. But that's where it started.
Ain't a ring involved to put on the pinky?
A ring. It was a bracelet.
Oh, I know it was something somebody told me.
She made a bracelet. This was back in 2011, I believe. And the bracelets, I mean, we were making them by hand. It just said Pinky Promise.
Yeah, but you said something that you used your own money. But I remember the whole thing was about money. From what it sounded like with me, and this is what I said on my show, I said it's, and I'm not taking from anybody's experience and whatever you say happened. But from what I heard, what they were saying was done, you know, buying a car and doing this with money and things y'all were doing with money. For me, being that I actually started churches and was really a whole pastor for 20 years, the things they were saying were not illegal. Yeah. This was just how nonprofits operate. Hell, you had not Don McClurkin, the other tall, loud person, Donald Trump. You had Donald Trump that paid $700 some odd for tax. They're like, I can't believe, and media took it. But the reality is, he did not commit a crime. You know, if there are certain laws in place. You know, so I knew what they were saying. I'm like, well, what else y'all got? I mean, because it did not make sense to me. So to hear you now say from your side, which is what I like about this platform, people who are not punks and won't come sit beside me. Y'all whole punks. When I been not see you on the street, come see me in my studio. You come sit right here and tell your side. I'm going to let you talk. You see how I'm letting them talk? I'm not I gave them some Ishansho's water. I sat them down on my nice Italian couch right there. I treated them real nice. But anyway, Because now we get to hear from your side an entirely different story. And I know you can't speak for you, Wayne, but you sound like a real pastor to me. You sound like a straight up nigga. I mean, excuse me, I don't know if that's all right. But you said, I done lost all my monetization tonight. Make sure y'all donate. You go to the Cash App at MBNNetwork for Venmo and Cash App. It's right there. It's right there. Make sure y'all go right there and donate because YouTube I can't say nigga, but it's one of my favorite words. But you sound like to me, I just feel like you a dope dude. I just feel like that. I feel like you're real and authentic.
So I mean, my wife and I, we trying to figure out like I feel like we dope people. I'm like, I don't understand why people they want us to be monsters so bad. It's like people want us to be like, oh, we just wake up in the morning going through the Rolodex of members saying whose life we gonna mess up today.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Now you said this. You gotta explain this. You said in the podcast, we can screw up members and ruin people's lives. Because I only saw that clip.
Yeah,
so tell me context. Okay, tell me.
Context. So what I was saying was that, typically we get around pastors and stuff like that, and we have authentic conversations. And when you think about it, people go out and they just say all kinds of things. People, they leave your church and they're upset with you and they're mad. And now in the day of social media, you get mad and you can create fake profiles. You got spam pages. You creating videos. You doing this over here. Like you got all of this stuff just
I get that.
On and on, So, when you have that, people just go out there and they do that. And you don't, it's like, again, as a pastor, you're told, well, you can't do that. Like you can't just go out there and do that. I never said, and my wife and I would never go out and share somebody else's business. We consider ourselves as vaults.
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like that's not only legally right, but that's also morally right. But I'm a vault. So when somebody puts something in me, I'm going to keep it. The problem is that people don't realize, like, if a pastor out there was really, really slanderous and just dirty and nasty, then they could easily just run off with people's information. I mean, I've seen it happen. But I'm just like, even when people took that clip, I'm like, man, for the people who even watch this, do you not understand the context? Like I don't have a bone in my body. And here's the other question: if that was something that I would do, why haven't I done it yet?
Yeah. So in context, you were just explaining how you basically hold everybody's secrets.
As pastors, we talk about, man, like if we could, know that person over there, that person, especially when they start jumping churches, then pastors, we start picking up the phone. We're like, hey, they coming to your church. Yeah. You gotta watch out for blah blah blah.
I go farther
than
that.
People don't even know that happens.
I go farther than that. Y'all can drag me you want to. I won't even care. Let one of my old members come across with some lies and some dirty, like they did clearly, allegedly, how they lied on y'all. Let them lie on me. Oh, I'm not playing that game.
I'm not like that.
Oh well, I am. I'm gonna sit right here behind this mic. I said, and you got the nerve to go out there and say that. Do your wife know that you XYZ?
Oh, don't do that.
I just want. But you don't tell me how to run my show. This is my show.
This broadcast is brought to you today by Holy Spirit.
No. Come and tell you. Sometimes
Larry,
you don't give folk the other cheek.
Larry,
because they hit you on that one too. What you got to do? Eye for an eye.
Larry.
Two for a two.
But Jesus said,
I love Jesus, but I don't like some of his folk. And if they do me like that, I'm going to get you back. I got 20 years of pastoring your secrets, and I tell it. You go public on me with some lies. Now, if you go public on me about the truth, I ain't going to say nothing. But we talk about the lies. All right, okay, we get back to it. So I understand what you were saying. You were basically saying, we protect people all the time, and people go out there and create. Because I seen the web pages, and I'm not saying that anybody's story was a lie, but I just couldn't find evidence for what they were saying. So I'm not going to. And I asked and I begged. I said, well, then when I do the commentary, and I hit your wife up, I wasn't doing the commentary. I said, I can't get behind this. I said, can you give me some information? She wasn't talking all at the time, but I don't like that. I'm not going to, because I do stories about the church and a lot of times on pastors, any pastor I did a story on is a dirt. If I had evidence, that means he was a dirty dog.
Jesus.
A dirty dog. Is my mic on? It seems like it ain't loud enough. I feel like I got the holler. This big old room. But this ain't got nothing to do with him. This all on me. But on that story, I just couldn't. I can't say every pastor, because there were some stories that I was like, okay, this don't add up. This don't make sense. Give me evidence.
But nowadays, in the court of public opinion, truth doesn't matter. In the court of public opinion, truth doesn't matter. Perception does. Mm-hmm. And the perception of the leader is, if you are silent, then they can't use anything against you. Mm-hmm. But the problem with the context of that particular thought is that in my silence, you continue to use it, because now you believe that I'm guilty, because I cannot disprove your point, or I cannot come out and say, this is a blatant lie. Because you would expect for people to look at it and say, this ain't true. But in the court of public opinion, truth doesn't matter. In the court of public opinion, it's all about perception. So as long as there's a video and it's like something splashed across the top and it catches your eye. I mean, they do the same thing in politics. They're doing it to Ralph Warnick. They're doing it to Ossoff. They're doing it to Kelly Loeffler. They're doing it to David Perdue. They do that. It's like it's all play to just grab people. And the church, it's like part of the church has just gotten so many.
That's why media is so powerful.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, because
but it's also destructive.
You can paint up. Hold on. You can wait. I know it is. Well, this is media you on tonight. Is it destructive now?
I thought
it ain't. So does y'all put it out there like that?
I thought we were having a discussion, Larry.
It is destructive because I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. Cause like I saw CNN do a story, and the headlines, and you dug into the story, the headlines was just to get your attention. But see, I don't operate. I say I don't do that. So all media ain't bad, but media is powerful because it will paint pictures and perception. You sure?
You pastored for 20 years.
Oh my God, I did. How did you know?
I mean, what was it? Why did you leave after 20 years of doing it? Why did you take your hands from the plow?
Well, see, this is the reason why I asked you the question. Do you think it's going to show up a different way? Because what ended up happening was I received my last tithe January 2017. I moved the last 2 years of the church. I moved totally online. This is why. I said, God showed me a vision, and the church needs to build in cyberspace and become balanced as cyber churches that go beyond the four walls. Mm-hmm. So my whole first few videos of Larry Reid Live was nothing but me, my former wife, and a former co-host discussing why we're out of the four walls of the church. So the last 2 years, we've done it online. Now, mind you, my church was doing well. Mm-hmm. It was not a case of, a struggling ministry. So that's the first initial reason. Now, in 2011, my messages all talked about world acquisition and world impact. It became very apostolic. Mm-hmm. And so for the last few years of me pastoring from 2011, 2017, I only talked about impacting the world through entertainment, through the arts, mass media, communications, science, technology. That was my entire message. I just changed the title 159 times. Okay, so when I first done my first sermon and personal prophecy through the computer online, I won't never forget, it was in November the 1st, 2015. When I got up, I knew I was home and I didn't know what to do with it. I said, how am I going to pastor and impact online? Because I've always been me, funny. I was doing funny videos since 2009, mm-hmm. and pastors had a problem with it, I would go ahead and say anything. So I've always been comedic.
I could believe that.
Yeah, so I've been like this my whole life. So when I married the two through my show, I felt more at home in my show. And so that's why I turned to my church and was like, we're not doing church no more. Y'all can be partners with what I'm doing with the MBNNetwork, but I don't want to do the whole receive tithe thing. And I said, I ain't your pastor no more, which was an error and a mistake because I had no example to show me how do I transition from being a traditional pastor, a bishop and apostle of churches in this country and other countries, and travel around preaching and Word Network and the Inspiration Channel and the TCT, and doing that to now going into put earrings in my ears, put tattoos on, and sit online. How do I do that? And then after a while, I don't wear the earrings no more because I'm too paper Bible saved for them. But how do I go from this to that? Not so much that. How do I do this and that? That's really what it was.
Right.
And I just found my niche. So in this year, when my prophecy came to pass about the churches in cyberspace, folk were like, wait a minute, he won't stupid. And so people began like, okay, I need a pastor. I'm leaving my church because you were telling us the whole time, and my pastor preached against you and told you. So you have thousands of people that dumped into my Patreon subscriber base who wanted a pastor. So I had to start back the ministry. But I'll never be back in the pulpit preaching like I was doing before. I do Larry live, and I can be perverted and cocky and crazy. And this morning, I done my prayer line prophesying, and it's all me. I'm not faking nowhere. Prophesying to the high donors. No, they're doing 1,248. A lot of you out there, you in them brick and mortar churches, and you can't even raise $1,000 on Sunday. Well, let me show you how to do it. You know, all thing you got to do is minister to people and be real. I be 100% myself and do it all. My music, Stellar Award nominated artist, an author, I can do all of that and still be authentically me. So that's the reason why I asked you. Do you think this is like transitory and then maybe
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, earlier this year helped me to really go on that journey where I feel like I'm at that point of completion of that authentic me. That was another reason why I knew pastoring in the traditional sense, in the traditional form, was no longer me. Because I felt like that box was too small to contain me.
Man, you look, I'm gonna tell you this now. You look like, I know niggas. No, I just hate to say it like that. I done lost my monetization, so I'm about to be blessed by my own word. It's mine. Can I get rights to nigga? You think anybody got rights to it? It ought to be mine.
I think probably Bernie Mac probably is.
Probably. Okay, but look, when I came around, 'cause I was late. I was coming downstairs, and my baby mom was in there entertaining. I said, "Go in there and do the talking first later thing." I said, "Cause you know I'm late," and she did it good. And so when I come down, y'all down there just talking. I said, "Yeah, she good." I said, "All right, I might give a little piece of check." And so I came in. She ain't getting a piece of nothing else. I'm just letting y'all know. You don't leave me and get to come back and get a piece of this pin that has a gold tip. You can't do that. But anyway, so I got to take it slow. You got to earn it back. But okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Look at me. I'm sorry. He done dropped his head. All right. So when I came around the corner, the first one pop up. What's your name? Jared. The first one pop up and the greet was Jared. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I didn't really look at him, but I said, "You tall." Then I looked at you. And I said, "Look, you a pretty boy. You do not look like," I got the same thing to say about Matthew Stevenson. I call him Maddie. I don't think Matthew Stevenson, I think some of these pastors, they doing what they're gifted to do, but it's seasonal. And you look like somebody that anybody will listen to from any walk of life and will look at you and say, okay, what is God saying? How can I get better? Okay, teach me about politics. Teach me about money. You look worldwide beyond the four walls of the church. Read it. That's to me.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. I do. I feel like that's what my personality is. I feel like it's just that box of church culture. Just it wasn't me, but for those who it is for. Right. I want to be an advocate for. Yeah. And I tell people I'm not leaving the altar. Yeah. I'm just taking it with me.
I love that. I'm not okay. Can y'all type that in there?
It with me.
And it belongs to him. Is it yours or you borrowed it?
No, it's mine.
It's him. Okay.
I mean, ain't nothing new under the sun, but I ain't heard nobody else say it.
So I'm not, y'all got to type that. I'm not, because some of y'all.
I'm not leaving the altar.
You're not leaving the altar.
I'm just taking it with
you. You're just taking it with you. You're not leaving the church. You're just taking the church with you.
Yeah. That's
wow.
Like I still have speaking engagements and stuff like that I'm going to say. I have no ought, no grievance against the bride of Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, I mean, with anything that people are involved in, it's going to be church culture. Yeah. Or it's going to be cultural. And you have to navigate through all those nuances. And I feel like that box is one that is too small for where I am to be able to fit into.
So is this an elevation?
I really don't have a name for it. All I know is I resigned from being a pastor. Like, all I know is that I'm not the pastor of the Gathering Church. I still have people who have messaged me, and they was like, "Well, you still my pastor. So you still gonna be my pastor." And I'm like, "Well, praise God.
Well, see, you got more wisdom than I had. I'm crazy." So I was like, "No, don't call me your pastor. Go about your business, find you some other church." So I
love people.
And I do too, but I didn't want to do debt. DET. I didn't want to do debt no more. But you got more wisdom, or maybe just the difference in. Where are you born?
I was born in Mississippi.
No. What time of the year, man of God?
I'm 34. If that's what you asking.
No.
What are you at?
What is your sign? See,
I'm a Leo.
Oh, well. You know the guy that was just in here, y'all got the same Ford. Y'all, the guy was just standing right here.
Who?
The one that let you in with the braids, Nathan.
Yeah.
He's a Leo.
What does that mean?
Let's say I got to prepare you for worldwide ministry. Because you got to understand the stars, and they're just signs. They're not our guys. They're just signs. But that makes sense. Y'all got the same kind of Ford. Did you not notice you got Ethiopian in you?
I took the ancestry test, and it actually said that I was West African, and it pinpointed me in Nigeria, which I've gone to Nigeria many times. I love Nigerian culture.
I can see that.
I've also gone to Ethiopia many times. I love Addis Ababa. I like to go in September for New Year's, but I don't know. I mean, heck, if I wasn't married when I went to Ethiopia the first time, I would not have come back to America.
Oh yeah, I already know what you're talking about. I already know what you're talking about. I already know what you're talking about. Look, the difference in our personalities maybe is the reason why you are handling this. I'm gonna say better. Mm-hmm. Maybe the word is different than me, because when people that because I was in deliverance and prophetic, so who I set on and called for their deliverance, and work with them, casting out demons, and I told these people, don't call me your pastor. Goodbye. See you later. And I do just like this. That's my personality. And I think it was error. Mm-hmm. And it looks to me that you're handling this, whatever God is doing with you, in a different way, and a better way than I did, because you're not pushing people away who says, okay, you may not be pastoring traditionally. Mm-hmm. You may be resigning from the traditional pastorate style or form.
Right. But
you still getting my tithe. You still get my teruma. You know about the teruma?
So what is it?
Teruma is what if somebody see you as their prophet and their supervising priest, 2.5% of everything they make supposed to come to you.
I've never heard of that.
That's what blesses the tithe. I gotta get you with my mentor. Yeah, because the people who say they're in covenant with you and they say, okay, you still my pastor, you're not pushing them away. That is the way I wished I had handled my transition. Mm-hmm. I didn't handle it like that. I was like, you know what? Y'all too darn churchy to understand where I'm going, and I gotta go do this here. And I see y'all later. So I would like to commend. Aren't y'all enjoying this? We're gonna come back with more conversation, but there are two things I gotta tell y'all about. I was in the play, Social Media Christmas, alongside of Tim Bay. What's that boy? The Patty guy. What's his name? Patty. Who? James Wright, Chanel. What's the other woman, the girl on the what's her name, that act like she's a missionary casting demons out of everybody? I don't know all these people's name off the top of my head, but they're all super talented. It was great working with them. Well, you can go and watch the play for $5. They ain't nothing. Go to socialmediachristmas.tv and you click on demand. So this is what I want you to do. Kendall, go ahead and download that, because you should have already done it. You're just doing it now. You see this? This helper I don't even know what to tell you. So you're going to see an advertisement for that. And then right behind that, you're going to see a small clip concerning our reality show. And then we're going to come back with with Cornelius Lindsey.
Praise the Lord.
The man of God. I'm still putting that in there, because that thing's still on you. We'll be right back to finish the conversation.
Coming to a stream near you, Zuri Craig's social media Christmas comedy stage play featuring James Wright Chanel.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Hey, bro!
Shay Dickerson.
Have that be a candy cane in your pocket? Are you just happy to see missionary?
Larry Reid.
My name is Babatunde, given to me by my tribe.
Will Johnson.
We done had this conversation, and that boy always being a little.
Tim Scott.
Girl, this is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What you mean cattle wine? This is milk.
Tanisha Wilson.
Negro, if the voices in my head says that you are a cheater, then you are a cheater. The hell I'm a lot of my stuff.
Zuri Craig's social media Christmas comedy stage play will be streaming for the month of December. For more information, log on to socialmediachristmas.tv.
What's your role in Larry Reid Live?
I don't have a role in Larry. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not my show. That's Reid's show. Well, I used to be on the show until he fired us.
Lisa mentioned that she used to be a host of Larry Reid Live and she was fired. Talk about that.
Wait a minute, she lied, number one. She was not fired from Larry Reid Live. She left me.
I was on LRL. No, you're not taking me down this road. I'm not going down this road. I'm not going down this road. Next question. No, because I just thought about why I got fired.
Let's just say what the truth is. This is what happened. It was a mistake of her life. I don't know if y'all heard what I said. Wait, I pray to God nobody heard what I said. Welcome back to the...
Oh, God.
I pray to God it was on mute. Lord have mercy. Hello, my name is Larry Reid, and I'm the host of Larry Reid Live. And on tonight, boys and girls...
Yo, you are... Hold on. Just skip over this like it didn't just happen.
Okay. All right. So look. We got Cornelius Lindsey in the studio having a conversation that most of y'all pastors ain't got the balls to have. Coming on the same platform that talked about the little scandal thing that y'all had up there, and I shared what all of the victims, quote unquote victims, alleged victims, said. Although one did call in, and then we getting a fuss, and she hung up on me or something. Can I
say something to that?
Yeah.
To everyone who ever attended the Gathering Races Church, who ever felt at any point in time that I did something wrong to them, no matter how I felt about it, no matter if I felt like I did something wrong to you, no matter if you thought I said something wrong to you, no matter what it was, out of the depths of my heart, please forgive me. Like, I don't want you to spend the rest of your life carrying whatever it is that you're carrying. Please forgive me. Any way that you thought I wronged you, I pray that you know that it was never my heart to. But let it be known, and let it be on record. Let it be known. Please, with all due respect, out of the depths, out of the bottom of my heart, forgive me. That it's not in my heart to hurt people. Mm-hmm. I don't try to. Mm-hmm. That's not why we signed up to do this. Mm-hmm. But however you felt, if you came, I didn't speak to you, you felt like I didn't hug you, you felt like I didn't touch you, you felt like I didn't let you sing, or whatever it was, whatever decision I made that you probably didn't find favorable, whatever it could have been, and however you feel wronged or offended, I don't care what the offense is, forgive me. Like, honestly, I don't even know another way to say that.
That's a real apology, because you're not dismissing their experience. You're not dismissing
because their experiences as real as it is to them, and whatever it is, I don't blanket over it. That's your experience. I don't want you to walk in that anymore. But from me to you,
you know, I just had a conversation just before you came about something that I learned at 42. What I learned was 2 people can be in a situation and have 2 separate experiences. And when we tell the story about that experience, both of us can be telling the truth.
Right.
But it just is not a shared experience. The experience wasn't shared the same way by those 2 people.
Right.
And we have to be mature enough to be okay with somebody not agreeing with our pain or with our interpretation or whatever it is of a said experience. Right. And I just learned that, now those fights I ain't getting into, you know. Yeah. But I will respect what you say enough to not then get on this platform to tell mine because it's gonna outweigh yours, you know. So I'm just not gonna do that, you know. And I ain't gonna throw it in your face. I'm listening to you and say, you know, it's just gonna be that. But that was a real apology. And like I said, I didn't even know you, but I'm a real good judge of character, and I see now that I was correct, that you are a good dude. Now, what I want to know, what does the future look like? Do you know? Do you have any plans, any ideas? Do you trust us enough to just go through your ideas, what you think the future look like, or what's in your mind, what you want to do?
So I was kind of going through I was going through them, then we kind of got on Pinky Promise. But I know one of the things my wife and I, we want to do is we want to be able to provide pro-pregnancy options for women. I don't think it's enough to just say you're pro-life. Okay. I think that we have to be able to not only just be pro-life, but to also be able to provide pro-pregnancy options for women who are considering those options, whether or not she wants to choose, however she wants to choose, but be able to say there are more options out there than just death. And then also good. Being able to partner with organizations to also provide support for the fathers, which I feel like a lot of times we focus so much on the pregnant mother that we don't talk enough about the father who actually impregnated her. And however that happened, if that is criminal, whatever that is, but partner with those organizations that actually help with those causes. I have a heart for the world. I want to be able to get Bibles and books and things like that to people in other countries who don't necessarily have access to them. We also are we're working right now with telecommunications and also through the media. We have something now we call Touchpoint TV, which is going to be our portal to be able to still get our voice out there. I mean, my wife and our voice is not going away. We're only going to get louder because now I'm not confined to this is the church's name. You're still the pastor. So my wife and our voices, they're not going down. They're going to only amplify even more.
I thought it was interesting in the bit of the clip I saw. Your wife said she never felt called to the pastorate.
She never did. My wife is about like how Michelle and Barack were. I read President Obama's latest book, which is amazing, by the way, and I saw a lot of me and my wife with Barack and Michelle was very clear with Barack, like, politics is your thing. You do that. And that's how my wife was with me. She was like, pastor is your thing. Wow. And she was very clear with that. And I never had my wife to be the first lady. My wife, she stood up, she said, I'm the only lady. I'm who I am. She didn't lead the choir. She didn't lead this. She showed up to church with the kids and she left early when she needed to. Like, she was just her own person. So, but yeah, she was never called to that. My wife is an evangelist. She's an amazing evangelist. She spits fire. She sits with Jesus. Like, people always ask, like, is she really this nice? She is. Like, my wife is one of the sweetest people I know. One of the most giving people I know. And she's simply an amazing woman. She loves Jesus. Like, I try to get her to cuss, Larry, and she won't do it.
I can help her.
No, you can't. This woman, she knows Jesus. You know, She loves the Lord with all of her heart. And so yeah, she's
She got
an
to cuss
evangelist.
one time. I ain't gonna feel like her anointing real.
You say it again?
She got me to cuss one time or say something close, a fake cuss word. She can say shit'em. That's in the Bible.
Oh, I mean,
shit'em.
well,
Just real hard. I mean, I use that one. And what else? Instead of saying DAMN, I say dern.
okay.
I do that.
It's what we also have a podcast. It's called Life with the Lindseys.
Okay, so you're doing advertisement. That's what you're doing right
Well,
now.
you asked me what I was doing in the future, so I figured since I'm already here on
Okay.
Larry Reid Live, that I would just go ahead and I would just shoot that out.
What's the name of your What's the name of your podcast? So because it is the podcast that got us here.
It's called Life with the Lindseys.
Life with the Lenses, and it's on Spotify, Apple, everything.
Apple, and then also another podcast called Silent Majority.
Silent Majority.
Yeah. I love politics, and I don't.
Really?
I don't see myself in either side. I can't choose a party because I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm too black to be a Republican, and I'm maybe too conservative to be a Democrat.
Too white. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, well, oh Jesus.
Too white.
Wow. Okay. Well.
They're light skinned. Y'all light skinned boys.
That ain't what I was saying, though. That ain't what I was saying, though. So, like, like in the state of Georgia, like libertarians don't get any kind of love, but I have an independent mind, I have an independent thought process when it comes to politics. So I talk about it, even though they make assumptions on what I think and who I go for. People don't know that.
So do you share who you voted for?
Absolutely not. I feel like a vote is something that is sacred. I feel like it's something that you should keep with yourself. And plus, I do have political aspirations in the future. So
that's right. Oh, so you know what? Maybe you just tricking me because
Why would I be tricking you?
Because I think you're just a good person, but you could be thinking about becoming a politician. So you careful what you're gonna say because somebody could be roll the tape.
Come on, Larry. Do I?
That Obama spirit.
Well, it's better than the Trump one, right?
Okay. All right. That's better. That's better. You said that now. Now I know you ain't no Republican.
Praise the Lord.
But on this platform, this is one. I never am pro-Republican, pro-Democrat. I'm an independent, and I don't mind people knowing that. I did say who I voted for this last time. I ain't gonna say it since you sit beside me. I won't mess up your future. But
I won't mess up my future.
Okay, well then let me say I did vote against Donald Trump. So therefore I voted for Biden.
Oh wow.
I want to be clear that I voted against Donald Trump. And I didn't vote for him last time. I voted for Hillary. But
you voted for who?
Hillary. Yeah, that's her name. So
Hillary. Okay.
Hillary. Hillary. That's Hillary. Hillary because she wore nothing but paint suits. Yeah, so that little boy in there somewhere. But anyway,
Hold on. Whoa. Whoa. So you be scared. Hold on. You said there's a little boy in there.
But she ain't never wear no skirt.
Because as a woman, she always had to give the illusion, the perception in the public that she had the
balls.
Look at President, Vice President-elect Kamala. See how many dresses she's worn lately.
Well,
it's still a male-dominated society, even though
she should have had on a skirt
really
and got up
going
out
the way
them
women
pints. So she's Hillary. So,
but if they go to my podcast, Silent Majority, they'll really see,
What's the name of the podcast again?
Silent Majority.
What's the name of the podcast again?
Silent Majority.
I'm just helping you.
And also Life with the Lindseys.
And Life with the Lindseys.
Life with the Lindseys.
Is Life with the Lindseys and what else?
Silent Majority.
Silent Majority and Life with the Lindseys?
And Life with the Lindseys.
Oh, wow. Okay. We got his advertisement in. Jesus, lamb.
You didn't ask me when I came on. I'm like, yo, I'm just going into like this whole conversation.
Oh, yeah.
He don't even know who I am. He don't even know what I do. He was like, yo, you live in Atlanta? I'm like, bro, I have a church here. You asked me to live in Atlanta? I was like, I'm pastor in Atlanta, bro.
I wasn't sure, but then you said, oh, you here? I said, well, then you need to come over there.
I live in Atlanta.
Lord have mercy, where my mask? Is you got the core? I didn't even check. I so caught up in doing the Lord's work, and I didn't even check. I might be about to die. I didn't even check. Lord, we got to spray everything down with that UV gun.
Wow, we doing this one now.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Where you been? You been in the house? That's a lie. That's a lie. He ain't coming. Has he been in the house? He been overseas. He been to Ethiopia. Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's in the house all day today.
All day.
Today.
You see that? He said he been in the house all day today.
Loyalty is
Y'all, if I catch
amazing.
something, it's either because of that Travis Mallorca, he came over here with no mask, or it's because of Cornelius Lindsey and Salad Majority.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like people have misjudged you or misread you?
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. But that's another way to put it. But yes, Pastor, please tell us.
I mean, yeah. They have, excuse me, did I say hell? I'm sorry. Hell is not a cuss word, just a cuss word here in America. But everywhere else, everybody say hell. Even, I feel like Jesus told me one time something, and he said hell, yeah. But anyway, I feel like he did. Well, I know he said the word hell.
Okay,
you know.
Larry.
Let me get back to, what was the question on my show? Please interview me right on my show. Let me sit up. All right, this is the podcast, Life with the Lindsays and Salad Majority, hosted by Cornelius Lindsey. My name is Larry on my show, but this is him interviewing me. All right, what you saying?
No, I was just saying because, like, you know, honestly, you know, when you posted the picture, you're going on Larry Reid, I have people, he's going to murder you. You're gonna get drugged. So it's like, no, I mean, you know, like, you know, we know what I'm talking about. So it's a perception. Question. Again, the court of public opinion is perception.
Sure.
So that's why I'm asking you the question. These are people who, they follow you, they love you, obviously. And obviously they didn't misjudge you. But for those people who are probably watching, I know that's your show, but do you feel like you have been misjudged or you've been misread?
Absolutely. And I turn it into coin. Yes. Kimberell misjudged me. The whiners, lying whiners, they misjudged me.
Okay, I didn't know we were gonna call names.
Yeah, I call names.
Okay.
Who else? I just recently done a few minutes ago. Pop Walls, Darryl Walls' daddy misjudged me. And that whole group. Who did I just done? I just posted somebody the other day. B Slade, but we got that straight, so I ain't gonna mention that. Yeah, and people, because it's a strategy. The strategy is we gotta make Larry Reid Live the villain. Because his voice is too strong and his following is too strong. Because he can sit on his show and change what happened in a courtroom, in a church, in an organization, and he's too strong. So I'm like a threat to the church. So it's a strategy to make me look like something I'm not. And they compare me with all of these people who have done some atrocious things to the church. Like telling people's personal business. Like if you a dude and you sleep with another dude or a woman sleep with another woman, I don't have no problem with you. Whether you married or not, if y'all got that kind of understanding, then fine. But the thing is, if you are being a liar and then that leaks out and becomes a story, at this point now, if I talk about it, then I'm the one that's outing you. No, I only do a story that's already been done. I only discuss what's already in the public. But nobody, and you saw at the top of my show what I said. I've been saying it at the top of my show for about 2.5 years. It does not matter because pastors need their people not to listen to me because I'm making them think and rethink church altogether. So I take it and turn it into corn. So when they go live and drag me or say my name, I get right on live and I drag them, say their name, and then I play what they said, and thousands watch, and they're entertained and laugh, and they give. And so it does nothing but build. And they give to the church. My Breakthrough Now network powers Larry Live. So I love it. Keep on saying what you're saying.
I mean, I like, you didn't know me. I didn't know much about you until earlier this year, and they were like, well, you're gonna be on Larry Reid, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. They like, oh, this, when you go on Larry Reid, that means you really done this. My wife and I, we always look at this stuff and we're like, how in the world, like, wow, I guess we don't view ourselves the way other people do, I guess. Mm-hmm. So we're just like, how did these two country kids, like, we just love Jesus and wanted to share the Lord with people, and then, like, you know, celebrity pastor. And I'm like, well, I didn't call myself that. Like, you gave me that name.
Yeah, you guys are successful. That. I mean,
yeah.
how many? I don't even know that. So Well, I assume you were successful. It just seems like
we are.
Yeah,
we are. I mean, outside of the church,
right?
But that's
so
not.
Tell us about that.
But that's not. But that's the crazy. Like that's not talked about. As a pastor, I have to be stealing from the church. Like that's the only way they can. That's the only way they can spend. And the craziest thing is, it's like the only people who say it are black people.
Ooh.
It's like, you see, I'll see white pastors. They're on the beach, got their shirt off, in Mexico 12 times a year, living it up, doing it up, on yachts, having a good time. You look at their comment section. Go, Pastor, go. We're so excited for you. Get the rest you need. You're amazing. Hope you're blessed and hope you're highly favored. Black person goes to Miami. Because black people will Miami you to death.
God knows they will.
Yeah, go to Miami. Well, you taking money from the church, and why you got to do this, and you didn't help me out because I'm evicted, and I'm just like, let me
give you a cuss word. It's a LRL cuss word that we can use here because I looked at you just then telling that story, and you needed one. We say frock. Put an R in it. I mean, man, what the fuck? You can say that because I felt that was coming up in your spirit.
It was right there. But it was right there. But I mean, it's like it's a success that could take place outside of the church. And then, but it's like, but you got to be stealing from the church. And then even when it comes to the church, I don't know, I can't speak about the church. I know from my church. I have a board. Yeah. Everything that goes through the board, compensation, everything goes through the board. Everything travels through the board. Yeah. Like they pull out emails and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not even on the email because it goes to the board. Because that's that's what the board does. The only thing that this proves is that everything goes in the right channels. It goes the right way. Right. But even when you do it the right way, it's like it has to be because. And I had an older black preacher say this to me. He said, Cornelius, the only reason why these people are doing this to you, he said, is because you're young. Mm-hmm. He said, you and your wife look good. He said, and they're jealous. He said, they want what you have. He said, most of these women, and this is not me saying, this is what he told me. Right. He said, most of these women will want you to break up with your wife just so they can marry you. That's true. And he went through the list, and I'm just like, but we try to help people. We teach videos on like how I have 14 books. I self-publish all of them. My wife has 9 books. She self-published all of them. And we try to teach people how to self-publish a book. We started a book publishing company to help Christians. We try to teach people how we started on Amazon, how we did this, how we did that, like how we did all these things. And we do all of this. We share with people how we travel the world using our Amex points. Mm-hmm. We share with people how we travel the world for free, how we travel the world doing this with hacks and all this kind of stuff. And they still look and say, you a thief. You stealing.
But I'm just like, maybe I was dealing with poor people. Let me explain this. Because that's something that I experienced. Yeah. But when I changed, let me explain my church. We only can, first of all, I'm only having 300 members. Because there's thousands in my Patreon subscriber base. And I cut the membership off at 300. And you're going to be a member for 2 years. And we're going through your whole life. If you're not progressing and using what I'm teaching and pouring, because my Patreon, I dream stocks. And my mentor does too. People who followed what we put in Patreon the last 3 months have their portfolios, and they've done the calls with them, millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. There's so many other things we do over there. So if you're not implementing what I'm giving you and my team of experts, after 2 years, somebody else take your place into the membership. And what I realized is that when I change who I trade with, because what I teach and what I do is for the person who is really running in life. If you come to me making $9 an hour, in a year, you're going to be somewhere else. Right. And if you're not, then you need to go to another pastor that specializes at that level. Because I have to talk to people whose brain is not sick with poverty. Because that is a mental illness, and it's in the black community. That's why the white folk pastors don't have no problem with it, because we're the ones systematically that is sick with that illness. Right. And so I play to my high donors. Like when you donate at the prayer, like this morning, it happened this morning, it's still up, but you can't get the information. Moderators do not type it in there, because I was having everybody come on the prayer line, but I changed that too. Only people who are subscribers who see $12 a month is not a lot of money. You know, these niggas, when I've done $12 a month, oh, that's too much. Everybody Patreon $5 said, keep your off my Patreon. I don't want on it.
That's one way to tell you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's one way
and
to
so
tell
that's what I did. And so but see, out of that group is where my members came. Because if they are going to be invested to LRL at $12, it's $144 a year. If they're going to do that, I'm going to give those people, I over-deliver.
Right.
Well over-deliver. And those people, when they implement, they grow. I was talking to someone, I was prophesying to somebody. Say, I can't even, I'm prophesying this morning, I'm calling prophesy to my high donors, and the other prophets, they call and prophesy to every donor. I don't care if it's $1, you get a prophecy. So if you're in Patreon, we don't do it for all people. We were doing it out here, and it just went haywire because they're poor people. And then they started doing YouTube, talking about, oh, he's scamming. I said, you know what? This is how I can fool up with y'all. And so I only discuss certain things with my subscriber base. So what I found out when I started dealing with people who were willing to invest and who were willing to connect and then see 40 cents a day as robbery, these people, they're holding. I got judges, doctors, pilots, engineers who are in there and implementing, nurses, doctors who are in there implementing the stuff that I'm teaching. With everybody out here dragging to my, oh, you going on Larry Live, he crazy, and they ain't got a clue what's going on. They broke. Ask me how many millions that came in this year to MBNNetwork. Y'all don't know what y'all doing, and y'all dummies. And it seemed like to me, at some point in time, y'all would say, okay, Reid got something going on that we ain't got going on, and we talking about, and he know what he doing. Him and that Bernard Jordan has got a whole nother thing going on. We got to get in the future. See, we were the ones that were telling the people about the pandemic. In February, I had a vision that the people were in mass, and the pandemic, it was going to be a pandemic, and it was going to be airborne, but we we're going to be lied to for months. See, all of that, and see, this is why it grew so fast this year, because people are like, oh, he right. And same thing with Jordan. He wrote about it like 18 years ago in a book about what's happening now. It's called Written Judgments. You're seeing it come up. You can download it now, volumes 1 through 4.
Oh, wow.
Look, you have to lead, and people like you, people like me, I'm assuming your wife, and there's some of you out there watching me, you're a futurist. So you're never going to fit in the now. And you're never going to fit in certain cultures. And it could be the church culture like we're talking tonight, because you're in the future. You're where the church going, not where the church is. And that's what I think about you.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we started touchpoint.tv, because we wanted to take our information and we wanted to be able to feed it to those individuals who wanted to invest in it.
What's the name of it?
It's called touchpoint.tv.
What's the name of
touchpoint.tv. It's like touch point, because we're going to touch lives all over the world.
You might as well spell it.
TOUCHPOINT period.
Okay.
TV.
Right. While he's advertising his, you can go to readingthingsmyway.tv tonight to watch the first episode. That's REID, my last name, ING, readingthingsmyway.tv, and click watch and go over there and watch it for just $2.99. But if you're a patron, see, I always give incentives.
Come on.
If you're a patron, you watch it free. Same thing about the social media thing that I just said. Socialmediachristmas.tv. I think they charge $5.99 extra this week, because y'all know I ain't been a part of nobody's nothing and not on both ends. You're not going to have me in a play and then I'm not on the other side of the play. It's not going to happen. So I'm both sides of this. That's why I'm advertising and pushing it so darn hard, because I need my money back. Wow. Got to be an investor. Can't just sit on one side of the table. So, but if you're a patron, you're able to watch it free. You see? Then what's the name of it again? One more time.
It's a touchpoint.tv.
And how often y'all come on that platform?
So our official content is going to begin January 1.
Okay.
So right now we're doing like a premarital course and stuff like that on there. But we're putting, like, my wife, she does a women's conference every year.
Okay.
I do a men's conference every year, and so we're putting that content on touchpoint.tv. We're putting, you know, our messages and stuff like that on touchpoint.tv. So while I won't be in a traditional church on Sunday preaching, I do very well intend on sitting down and being able to go through the Bible and still teaching from the Bible, but it'll be there on touchpoint.tv.
I think that's the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
I look, I want people to come together. I love, I mean, I'm introverted. So I love people to an extent because I just need time to just kind of get away from them. But like I want the social interaction. I want that. I feel like it's good. And I feel like it's also biblical. It's healthy. But at the same time, you know, we wanted to find a way that I think fit, like you mentioned, that fits our personality. It fits who we are, and it takes us out of the proverbial box and out of that hierarchy system. And you know, who you know with this,
that's
and
damaging. A
who
lot of
you
that
don't
is
know
damaging.
that pastor. And I've been in all the big green rooms, and I've seen them all. And
How are they treating you now that you having this pivot? So this is really a prophetic pivot in my opinion. So how are they treating you?
Well, I mean, you know, some of them.
F-R-U-C-K. Just in case. Go ahead, tell the story. But I just want to make sure you got that word when it come up.
Some I think some are related because, you know, when ministry becomes competition, I think it ceases from being ministry. And I think that some of them saw me as competition. So then now, since I'm kind of out of the way, they're like, well, he's gone now, so now I can kind of jump in. And so it's like that. So you have the fake ones who are like, hey, you're on my heart, but you know, I'm really on your heart because you just got finished talking about me. But you have that. We have my brothers who I know are down for me, down. And I know that they're all excited for me. I mean, I've gotten a lot of great love. I mean, I probably got a couple pushbacks. They're just like, you know, you missing God, and you need to go back and see God again. And I'm like,
I got that too.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know, I get you, and you know, they're older, they're elders, and you know, I want so bad to just like, yes, I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna follow what you say. But I look back at my life, you know, I'm a college dropout. I didn't finish at UGA. Most of my life is a testament of just following God.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like I'm obedient to what God says. I believe that this is a God move. I've been feeling transition for a long time. Transition is what I'm in. I feel like a lot of people out there are feeling it too. They're feeling transition, and it's so doggone hard to just say, I need to break out of my box, because breaking out of your doggone box is so scary. But I'm telling you, it's like once you break out of that thing, yes, people around you are going to be upset. Yes, people around you are like, so what are we doing? I got people who are like, so where are we going to church at now? Like you ain't going, like you ain't the pastor. Where we going to church? But I'm like, you know, it's scary, but I think that it's so needed.
Yeah. So so in your spirit, you're at peace.
Oh, man, I sleep like a baby at night. I sleep like, I mean, I'm still technically the pastor, so I'm working with the board and still going through the transition, stuff like that until December 31st. But January 1, you know, it's like I'm waking up to 2021 like, yo, I'm hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Well, it's gonna be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking on touchpoint.tv and
also Life with the Lindseys and Silent Majority of the podcast. I'm also starting a new podcast too at the beginning of the year called To Be Honest.
To be what?
To Be Honest.
TOO, be honest?
Yep. No, TO. To be
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because I want to be able to have very authentic conversations that I could not have because you're a pastor.
So, but you still pastor. That's all you still pastor. You just don't. You're not in the traditional sense.
Oh yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Well,
and I feel like
we're gonna all see it.
And I feel like
magical.
Yeah, and I feel like, can I have my show back? And I feel like there's some more of you guys watching me, not just that maybe are pastors traditionally like Cornelius, but even in your business, you may be stuck in a model and you're not in the cyberspace and the digital space, you're still in the brick and mortar. Maybe this show was all about getting you to rethink how you are doing what you're doing. And if you're a pastor, maybe you're rethinking how you want to approach ministry in the future. And maybe Cornelius was just like a wake-up call, maybe. So if that's you, reach out to him. Do not call me. I'm busy. All right? All right? I think it's where can they get in contact with you? I'm helping my 300. I can't take no more. I'm booked.
Yeah, probably just this is Cornelius. I think my website is still being updated. It's been updated now for like the past 6 months.
So they can just go to your that's my
Instagram.
handle.
That's my Instagram, my Twitter. I'm on Facebook.
It's gonna blow up tonight because they're gonna go in there and look at your pictures. Now, Pastor, what you need to do is play. Let me go to your IG. Let me look right quick.
I don't have my phone with me. I left my phone. I think my wife watching. Hey, baby, I love you. Come home soon. She was gone. She was all in Florida preaching? At a conference. No, she's at a conference.
I hope she wore her mask.
Absolutely. Why won't she wear a mask?
I'm just checking because you Republican. I'm
not fooling with you, Larry. Like now I know. Anytime people like, Cornelius gonna be on Larry Reid, I'm gonna be like, it's Larry. I'm gonna just move on.
Okay, let me. This you?
That's me.
Oh, that's your daughter or your son?
That's my youngest son.
He got a lot of hair. Y'all got white folk in your family?
Well, my wife she's mixed. She has a white mom and a black father.
Oh, she black though. But she just got a little piece of white.
Well,
that's a right piece because that baby is pretty.
Yeah, he's.
You might put him on TV, do something.
He's amazing. I have a 7-year-old boy. He looks just like me, Logan.
Y'all follow This Is Cornelius. He has his shirt off with his child.
No, I don't.
You're able to see his shoulder. Look, this sometimes you gotta use what God gives. I hope y'all didn't hear my shoulder, right? I didn't. I hope you didn't hear what I just said. But that's some wisdom. You got a little piece. All right, and then
you hear this, nigga?
Okay, look. Let's see. Oh, you posted Simon Harland. This is a cute baby. You don't need to put him in do some modeling.
Not right now.
Oh, you don't? Why? What did the Lord tell you not to?
No. It's just like our kids. We want them to be kids for just a little bit. Like we want them to enjoy their kid life and not have any worries or concerns.
Your wife is fine. Is that offensive
to me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That's a compliment. Okay. That means either she's really good at character or she's half blind.
Hold on, you're a vegan?
No, my wife is a vegan.
Oh, okay.
She's super vegan.
That's the white side. That's the white side of your wife.
There's some black vegans. It's catching on.
No,
Viva La Vegan closed down. My wife told me about it. Like that's
vegan
a
closed?
No, the Viva La Vegan.
Oh, what's that?
It's a restaurant. It was a vegan job. Yeah, in Atlanta.
I went to a vegan place
over there by the AUC.
I wonder is that the one, but it was pretty good.
Viva La Vegan. Yeah, Viva La Vegan. I mean, you probably talking about Slutty Vegan.
No, I've been there too.
The Slutty Vegan is good.
Is that your wife think that's not real vegan?
No, I mean no. We eat there. We eat there. But my wife, she cooks. She has her own cookbook. Like my wife can make some bomb food at home. She mills her own bread. My wife is like, she's that kind of woman.
Who this is?
That's me.
That don't look like you.
Yep, that's me. I just had
because of the mask.
Yeah, I mean I wore a mask. See, now you see I was out, but I had a mask on.
Yeah, I don't like them masks. They ain't 100%. Well, they like 30.
Well, I mean the doggone things don't. Never mind.
Okay, I'm just going through your. I want you to put some. You got a whole lot of empowerment. I feel stronger. Just scrolling through your IG, I feel like I can just win. Okay, life with the lenses. What is that? I wonder what that is. Never heard of that. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and follow you now. No, I'm gonna wait till you follow me and follow you back. Cause see, you got these preachers there. You still a preacher in your spirit. You follow me, I follow you back. I'm not following you until you follow me. Where's your phone?
I don't have my phone. I told you.
All right.
I didn't have my phone.
And it need to be Larry Live page. So all your friends that told you not to come to Larry Live, you be like, it ain't happened the way y'all said. It was good.
I don't have my phone. Okay. I legit don't have it.
Okay. All right. Any last words? We done.
I mean, I just want to just say, hey, thank you for allowing me to come on and just be honest.
Yeah.
Like I said, my wife and I, I don't even know. It's been quite a ride, and pastoring has been quite a journey. A lot of stuff I'm going to miss, and we're happy for the next stage, happy for the next transition, and moving on. And I'm hoping that people can, like, what I'm sensing is that I feel like so many people, Larry, are hurt. Not because of one particular thing, but because of a lot of things. And I think that what's coming after this pandemic is an epidemic of mental illness.
Ooh, yeah.
I think depression, like those things are off the charts. I think the next 2 years or so, we're going to see the numbers. So I would just say, man, do everything you possibly can to get help. My wife and I, we have a sponsor. We're sponsored organization, a counseling center. They can get online care. You can go to my Instagram page. In my link tree, you can find it there. But I implore people to get the help they need, professional help, because it's needed nowadays.
Wow.
And I love everybody out there.
All right, that's great. Okay, there are 1.6 thousand of you that is on YouTube. Go follow. This is Cornelius. There's still about, well, y'all don't drop down because y'all have 941 of you over there on Facebook. Go over there and follow the pastor to see his show.
I think they're probably mad because you didn't drag me.
Oh, well, you know, I didn't. If I can't find nothing to drag you, but I mean, what is it? I mean, there's nothing to drag.
I don't know. Praise the Lord, man.
Yeah,
even those who hate me, I love you to life.
Yeah, there was nothing to drag. I was blessed. All right, I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow night. Don't you say nothing, because we want to keep your image clean. Let me get dirty for a little bit. Jamal Harrison Bryant on Damara. Y'all better not miss Damara, because that's a lying nigga. And I've always praised him all this long time. Going over there to New Birth. We praised him, We were rooting for you. Now you done lied. And tomorrow night, I'm going to be live and talk, because you done put it out there. So it ain't a matter of, this is not, oh, I went and got the information. No, you went out there and lied trying to get back at Monique Samuels. Then I went live, you remember, and then his ex called in and let us see that he was lying. But then when I did that, y'all, a whole nother woman appeared. And this woman ain't appeared by herself. And I'm going to tell y'all about it tomorrow. Use a hoe. Bye!
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of the Patreon. Log on to LarryReidLive.com, click Patreon, sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
Coming to a stream near you, Zuri Craig's social media Christmas comedy stage play featuring James Wright Chanel,
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Shay Dickerson,
That be a candy cane in your pocket. Are you just happy to see missionary?
Larry Reid,
My name is Babatunde, given to me by my tribe.
Will Johnson,
We done had this conversation, and that boy always being a little.
Tim Scott,
Girl, this is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What you mean cattle wine? This is milk.
Tanisha Wilson,
Negro, if the voices in my head says that you are a cheater, then you are a cheater. The hell I'm a lot of my stuff.
Zuri Craig's social media Christmas comedy stage play will be streaming for the month of December. For more information, log on to socialmediachristmas.tv.
What's your role in Larry Reid Live?
I don't have a role in Larry. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not my show. That's Larry. That's a Reid show. Well, I used to be on the show until he fired us.
Lisa mentioned that she used to be a host of Larry Reid Live and she was fired. Talk about that.
Wait a minute. She lied, number one. She was not fired from Larry Reid Live. She left me.
I was on LRL. No. You're not taking me down this road. I'm not going down this road. I'm not going down this road. Next question. No, because I just thought about why I got fired.
Let's just say what the truth is. This is what happened. It was a mistake of her life.